Hey muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Okay, today's video is one that I have been wanting to make for so long. So I have gathered a bunch of information and done a little bit of a deep dive into Club Penguin, and I want to basically talk about how Club Penguin was on this rise and then detrimental fall that it was completely erased. And the reason that I'm so fascinated by this, also this is literally just on my screen for no reason right now, so let's just keep this up for the funsies. The reason that I'm so fascinated by this is I loved Club Penguin, and it was genuinely my entire childhood. I'm actually really happy with the year that I was born. I was born in 2002, and the reason that I bring this up was I feel like I was in this sweet spot where my entire childhood was not spent, on phones or on iPads, but like it kind of was in a way. Like nowadays there's like the iPad generation, the iPad babies and stuff like that. It's like I really got introduced to like my family computer at like age 9, 10, 11. But then my entire childhood, I remember, playing games online, or I remember going out and playing with my friends. So like I had this little bit of like an in-between stage, which is I love and I'm very grateful for it. And I saw this thing which was like, I think it's anyone born kind of like before 2004 kind of was in that sweet spot. So let me know what year you were born, by the way. Are you like happy with the year that you were born? I feel like I complain about a lot of things in life, but I'm happy to be a 202 baby. I'm happy to be a 202 baby. But with Club Penguin, it was this online franchise, this online game that was just fully ended by greed. And the reason that I get so upset about things like this with Club Penguin is Club Penguin, if it still existed in this day and age, would probably still perform incredibly well because it was simple and it worked the same way that Roblox is big right now. And I don't think that children nowadays really have that many of these like online safeguarded game places. Like, it's so upsetting how these kind of worlds don't really exist anymore for the generation that are growing up now, which is crazy because I remember my entire childhood spending it on Club Penguin, Moshi Monsters. I remember I attempted Habbo Hotel and almost got groomed on there because it was fucking scary as shit. And I know so many people that have been groomed as kids on Habbo Hotel. If you know, you know. Bin Weevils, Movie Star Planet. There were so many of these games, and I never really got into Roblox. Whenever I was younger, I don't really think it was that big of a thing. It just, these online worlds were so big. RuneScape as well. I loved RuneScape, which is kind of like an older thing as well. Did people play RuneScape? But anyways, with Club Penguin, I really want to talk about it. Now, I find it really fascinating because with Club Penguin, if you don't remember, they used to have these incredible like parties every single year as well, like every single month almost, I think, where it was just these fun events. And my god, it was such a fun game, and it was so simple. You got to decorate your apartment and stuff. Now, it was kind of the first time that I ever got introduced to like a classes system where I would not have a membership, and then I wasn't able to have like a fun igloo, I wasn't able to have a fun home, I wasn't able to have pets, I wasn't able to dress up. But for $10 a month, I was able to, and I was like, wow, money really gets you everything in this life. So Club Penguin, I have in front of me something that I wrote on. I think I actually wrote this whenever I was in Dallas, which is crazy because that was at the start of the year, and I'm finally getting around to going through it. So Club Penguin, I've done a little bit of a deep dive as to the rise, fall, and basically what happened with Club Penguin. So Club Penguin launched in October 2005 by New Horizon Interactive. Club Penguin was designed as a safe, ad-free virtual world for kids. Now, this is crazy to me that Club Penguin was introduced as an ad-free virtual world, because I don't know if that was it was before my time, obviously, because I was only born a couple years before it launched. But by the time that I was playing Club Penguin, the membership system was it. You know what I mean? Like, I was begging my family for that membership, and thankfully they would always pull through. Thank you, mommy and daddy. Now, with Club Penguin as well, I think it has a big cult following. I think it has a big nostalgia following, and since Club Penguin has been shut down, there have been multiple versions of Club Penguin that have launched, like the exact same coding website, like fans will re-upload it. I'm sure some of these people have been like arrested, but I would play them, and whenever, oh shit, I nearly dropped my mic set there, sorry. Whenever I, find new ones that are still up and running, I still play Club Penguin to this day. It's nostalgic, it's simple, I love it. I truly understand the hype behind it, and I don't know about anyone else, but when you're young, you kind of are impressed by, sorry, I'm like literally talking with the mic over here. Hold on, it's just hot as balls in here. Whenever you're younger, you're impressed by things that are maybe not the most impressive. But for some reason, I feel like my interests now are very similar, if not the exact same, as the interests that whenever I was a child I loved, and when I was a teen I thought was cringy. Like, for example, like my favorite artist of all time was Selena Gomez my entire childhood, but then in my teenage years I was like, oh, that's so embarrassing. But now as a 22-year-old, I've kind of reverted back to, I listen to Selena Gomez in the scene. I'm listening to these artists that I grew up listening to that in my teen years I was like, ugh, that is so not me anymore. And it's funny, I visit things like Club Penguin all the time where I will play these new versions of it, and it just kind of makes me really nostalgic and happy. I don't know, is anyone else like that with some of their interests when they were a child? Maybe in their teen years they really didn't like want to associate that they ever liked those kind of things, and then maybe like in their adult years, so I'm taking my socks off, in their adult years kind of revisited the things. I don't know, I think it's sweet, and I'm glad that I'm able to, nurture my little inner child a little bit. So it was launched in 2005, like I said. I can't believe it was a thing for so long, my God. And again, ad-free virtual world. It was built to be this, kind of like chat room game that was always moderated, even in the ones where all ages could join. It had tight moderation. I cannot tell you how many times I was banned from Club Penguin. You would get banned from Club Penguin instantly if you said a swear word, right? Like that was a given, right? And you're not getting that account back, bitch. But with Club Penguin, it was really interesting because I remember I got banned from Club Penguin for genuinely a long time. I think it might have been a permanent ban. I got banned from Club Penguin for bullying. And I remember being devastated at this. So what happened in my defense was I was playing Club Penguin one random day, as I normally do, and you can throw snowballs. The world is, all about the snow aesthetic, igloos, ice rinks, whatever, okay? And you could throw snowballs, right? At targets, at things. And I remember for some reason, I just used to love picking like one penguin and like spam sending like snowballs to them because it would really piss people off. And as a child, I enjoyed being a little bit of a menace. And I did it to someone and they were complaining. And then ultimately I got logged off and I got banned for fucking bullying. And still to this day, I will never fucking believe that I got banned for that because it was my account that I had my big apartment in. I, had all these items. I had my fucking animals. I was fuming, fucking fuming, tights out to that person who got me banned. Players could customize their penguins. They could customize their igloos where their penguins lived. They could adopt Puffles, which was the in-game animal. And my God, I loved a Puffle. Here were the Puffles. Look at the little game on. Yes, I loved the Puffles so much. My favorite Puffle, I think, was it the red one or was it the blue one? I think those are the ones you could get without a membership. But my God, I love these. Oh, Cardjitsu as well. The games that you could play. Like, the games are good as fuck. The bean one where you're throwing the, like, beans in the coffee shop. Like, Club Penguin was it. It's a fucking fun game still to this day. Oh my God, whenever they were ending it, the end is near. So anyways, continuing on with this, you could play mini games like sled racing, Kart Surfer was fucking incredible, Puffle Roundup. Now, the site exploded and had over 30 million registered users by 2007. 2 years after it launched, it had over 30 million registered members, which is insane. So we kind of move on to the commercialization / when Club Penguin really started to want to make money. So obviously it spent those first years garnering an audience, got over 30 million of them. Obviously it's about time to start making some money is obviously the approach they're going to make. And I understand it. It's company. I understand it. So Club Penguin started doing a business model of membership fees. And this is all I know. I don't know Club Penguin before membership fees. So to me, it's crazy that there never was. It was $5.95 a month, but it did end up rising to $7.95. And I think just whatever that conversion was in your country. But I remember it being like £5 a month for a membership. The members unlocked exclusive items, rare clothes. This would change every month, where you could buy clothes in Club Penguin with the in-game currency that you would get by playing games and winning money, and then you could spend it on things in the game. Rare clothes, you could have huge igloo homes. You could, decorate it with all this crazy shit. You could get every puffle, any color, any trait. And you could also have access to all of the parties that were thrown as well. So from my time of knowing Club Penguin, where there only was memberships, I thought that the membership was incredibly worth it. Obviously, it sucks to note there was a time when there never was one, but out of all the games that I've ever played, even to this day, where there were memberships included, I kind of think Club Penguin was one I enjoyed the most. I remember being a member of Moshi Monsters, and that really wasn't worth it. Club Penguin was really my go-to, if I'm being completely honest. Now, the non-members could still play. And again, this was really my first time being introduced to this classes system from Club Penguin. Non-members could still play the game, and they could do a lot of the things that everyone else could do. They just weren't as cool, which is so terrible looking back. I remember going into school, and people would literally make fun of you if you didn't have a membership, which is so fucking evil. But it was just this weird classes system. And everyone in my school played Club Penguin, by the way. We would spend all day talking about what we were going to do in Club Penguin, meeting up. You could go into different worlds, meet up with your friends, and we would all do it at the same time after fucking school. Customization was limited, and it created this digital class divide, which is just so crazy. And I even picked up on it as a child, and I felt sad when I was excluded because I couldn't afford it. And it really is crazy just to kind of look back on. There was a digital class from Club Penguin, which is just absolutely deranged. So then when they started making money with memberships, they basically started building out the brand of Club Penguin, and this became them selling physical merchandise. Now, I really quickly want to pull up Club Penguin merch that they were selling, because it's been years since I seen this stuff. So I'm going to type in Club Penguin merch. I'm going to see a bunch of fan-made stuff as well. But they did things like this, right? Which was... they would sell these plushes of famous characters, maybe in-game penguins that maybe things from different events. They would do puffles as well. And let me tell you something. You want to know something about me? Oh, I was buying these. I loved the Club Penguin merch more than anything else. It's incredibly nostalgic, of course. That's a big reason I love it. But they were so fucking fun. And still to this day, really embarrassing to admit, I do buy Club Penguin merchandise that's obviously not being sold anymore, but on eBay from people, because the things that I wanted as a kid, but my parents obviously didn't want to spend the money on, I now have adult money, and still at 22 years old, I'm going to be buying Club Penguin merchandise. So I've actually bought a bunch of puffles like these ones that I actually owned some of them whenever I was a child. It was a special thing if my mom or dad got me one. I've actually bought a couple of these, and they're in storage right now, and I need to unpack my apartment. I actually bought those, and I had some of these as a kid as well. I wish I kept them. And then Club Penguin also had this, which I loved. I remember getting this for my birthday one year. Actually, there's such an interesting story attached to this. So this right here is an igloo little toy that opens up, and it's interactive. There were little figures you see right here of Club Penguins, and it was basically this interactive, you pretending it's the real world. I always think about this. I asked my parents for that for my birthday, and then in the lead up to my birthday, they said that I was fighting with my brother too much, and they told me that they weren't going to give it to me for my birthday anymore. And then they showed me that they had it, and then they didn't give it to me for my birthday because I was fighting with my brother. But then they ended up giving it to me 2 months later. So I just really think back on that traumatizing moment of my parents teasing me for no reason whenever I was just a kid. But that's what I think of whenever I see this. I did ultimately get it in the end, but not on my birthday, clearly. They also had Card Jitsu in the game, which was a little card game, and it's still fun as piss to this day, and it really is just a game of luck at a certain stage. But they ended up doing these card game versions of the ones that you play in the game, and I bought these. I have these. They're in my living room. I play them with my friends. It's fun as fuck. The merchandise of Club Penguin was really fun, if I'm being honest. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. Yeah, you can still buy them. I loved the fucking puffles so much. I'm trying to get all of them again. The little figures as well were fun as fuck. They did DS games. They had magazines. And anyways, let me not get too ahead. But if you can tell, I love Club Penguin. I love Club Penguin. Also, this REM Beauty lip gloss, Good as tea. Good as tea. Vanilla, gorge. So they ended up releasing DS games as well. They had Elite Penguin Force, came out in 2008. They had Herbert's Revenge, came out in 2010. And when you would buy a piece of Club Penguin merch, like a plush, like a game, like a whatever, it would come with a little code inside that if you entered that upon entrance into the Club Penguin website, it would give you coins, it would give you money, it would give you extra clothes. It was a really fun way of when you would buy something physical, you also got something digital with it. And I think that they managed to sell a lot with that. They also came out with books. I remember reading Club Penguin books. They were always very shitty, but whatever. Plush toys, figurines were sold in Disney stores, Target, Asda in the UK, Walmart, like they were fucking everywhere. The Card Jitsu trading game, obviously. Now, Club Penguin ended up launching a magazine. It launched in the UK in 2012, and it included exclusive codes, comics, puzzles, and just Club Penguin lore. They were really, really, really fun, and a fun piece about Adam McIntyre is I did fan art, and it was actually in one of the magazines. I wish I still had the magazine or I knew which one it was. But yeah, you could email in artwork that you drew of Club Penguin or whatever, and sometimes they would put you in the magazine, and I ended up getting in the magazine. It was the greatest moment of my entire fucking life. And then I became so fixated on the magazine after that not only did I get every single edition of it, but I ended up creating my own version of the Club Penguin magazine, which was called a Club Penguin newsletter that I ran with my cousin, and we did that for a good couple weeks where we would meet up and go on the family computer and create a newsletter. Now, this newsletter would literally only be created for us. We would literally take the time to update what's happening in Club Penguin, and then we would print it out and we would just read it ourselves. But it was fun. They had an official Club Penguin website as well, of course, which was also really fun as a child, because when you went on, they had a section where you could print out, photos that they were like blank photos, that you could color in, wallpapers. They did blog posts. They did updates on there. They did sneak peeks of parties. It was fun as fuck. It was such a community and such a fan base, which is why it's still very popular to this day, even though the game doesn't exist anymore. In 2007, Disney was really interested in Club Penguin and ended up acquiring it. Now, they got it for $350 million, which is insane because it only launched 2 years before that. They basically said that they wanted to dominate a kid-friendly online space. Now, there's pros and cons to Disney taking over from the original people. The bad was that the monetization ramped up, the memberships got more expensive, and the perks started getting way more divided. There were a lot more paywalls now. When Disney came in, the moderation got so fucking strict that, like I said, you would get banned for throwing a fucking snowball at someone. And Disney also started to get rid of, fan sites that were devoted towards Club Penguin because of copyright issues, whereas the original people didn't do that, and they kind of just created that they are the only people that are going to market Club Penguin, and that obviously sucks. The good, however, was that it meant that Club Penguin could go incredibly global. It meant that there was a lot of money behind it. Obviously, Disney is huge. Because Disney had now acquired it, Disney were able to make a lot more themed events that were Star Wars or Disney movie themed, which was obviously really exciting and brought in a more mainstream audience as well. And Disney basically exploded Club Penguin. So when it was good, it was good. When it was bad, okay? But they really did alienate the original fan community by basically just monetizing the fuck out of it as quick as possible. And I think as well, Club Penguin started going so south when Disney started over monetizing it, and it took away from the original game. Now, it's important to note that Club Penguin performed for as long as it did, as successfully as what it did, because of the fans. Like I say, the game is not that impressive. The fan communities that were created within it were the reason that Club Penguin went and continued to be very, very, very viral. And that had nothing really to do with Disney and everything to do with the fans. People would literally get in relationships that they had met on Club Penguin. People would get married in the game. There were cults in the game. It was insane. Now, My favorite part about Club Penguin as well is because you would get literally banned for just saying any swear word, people found out ways of like putting swear words in their usernames or whatever by like misspelling things, and it was funny as fuck. I loved that as a kid. Okay, so here is when Club Penguin is over, basically. So when it was good, it was good. But Disney, it was very clear, we're going to run this shit dry, and then it took away from basically the game and what it was. So in January 2017, Disney announced that it would shut down Club Penguin. Now, not only did they announce that they were shutting down Club Penguin, they announced that they were shutting it down to replace it. They said that they were going to replace the game, which was on the website, for a mobile app called Club Penguin Island. Now, people were very, very, very pissed at this because they were like, why can't you launch this simultaneously? You are Disney. You have billions of fucking dollars. And they were like, the app is going to be so much better. No one plays online anymore, which wasn't true. And ultimately, Club Penguin Island was shitty. It was so fucking shitty. Let me look this up. Like, it truly, I downloaded it and it was like a shock to the system. It looked like a Facebook fucking game. It was like a dumbed down version of Club Penguin. Really terrible graphics, even worse gameplay, and it didn't last that. It was fucking shit. It was shit, and it was a bad move from Disney. They got rid of Club Penguin and they launched an app that was destined to fail and no one cared for, and ultimately it was discontinued less than a year later. It didn't even last a year, but yet Club Penguin they were willing to shut down, and it had been for over a decade. Now, I also want to acknowledge that, there were different things like happening within JavaScripts and that were shutting down a lot of games online, but Disney were able to avoid that. And when this happened of Club Penguin being shut down, we started to see things like Club Penguin Online, Club Penguin Rewritten, and if you don't know what that is, it was people copying the code of the original website and just uploading it. And it was Club Penguin as if it never got taken down. So Disney can't even do that. And Club Penguin Rewritten and Club Penguin Online, even though I do think the people that ran those got arrested for copyright by Disney, it showed that thousands of people were still playing Club Penguin a day. So it seemed like, why were Disney giving up on it when the fandom was still there and is still to this day? So was so funny about Disney announcing that they were discontinuing Club Penguin, by the way, it was very abrupt and very sudden. And it basically, it made Club Penguin more popular than it had ever been in its entire life. Because people that grew up with it were pissed. People that were playing it still were angry. And it brought a lot of attention that people started doing protests in the Club Penguin world that were huge. And the final message on Club Penguin was, let me see, I think it's like the server is being discontinued. It literally, like, it's the most depressing thing ever. Look, all these people came together to, like, protest. The connection has been lost. Thank you for playing Club Penguin. Waddle on. Like, it's just, I can't believe they did this. I also wonder what the original statement was when they closed it. Closing statement. How did Disney announce that they were closing it? How did they announce it? Like, was there just a statement? I, like, literally can't see anything online about the reason that it was shut down. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, it says 3 people being arrested over the re-uploads of Club Penguin, which is so fucking funny. Anyways, so Club Penguin gets shut down. Disney have fucked up, and then they launched this app. It's fucking terrible, and basically, they had everything in their favor as well because all these people were now flooding over to the app, and the app couldn't even handle everyone, and it was shut down less than a year fucking later. Now, after the shutdown, like I said, website clones started to pop up, like Club Penguin Rewritten and Club Penguin Online. These were so fucking good. They were Club Penguin, but you didn't need a membership. You had all of the membership perks. Some of them were uncensored chats, so people could swear and be, like, adults texting on fucking Roblox or something like that. And it became so wildly popular. And Club Penguin Rewritten alone had over 10 million users. So Disney saying that no one's playing games online anymore is bullshit, specifically in the wave of how popular, Reddit, Roblox is. In 2020, Club Penguin Online was shut down after moderators were actually accused of predatory behavior. And in 2022, Disney and the UK police seized the Club Penguin Rewritten servers, and the FBI arrested the operators. Club Penguin fans were once again digitally exiled for just wanting to play the fucking game. Now, Club Penguin is more of a game. It became its own identity, its own lore, and had its own devoted fandom. You know, there are challenges, the speedrun challenges, and there cosplay, there were fan events. It was an internet ecosystem within itself, for sure. It was a digital world that was safe for kids to play, and it makes me sad that greedy Disney ruined that for more kids to be able to play. It was bought, and it was exploited by Disney. It was broken by Disney, and it was resurrected in a way by fans and then further destroyed again. It just, I don't know. It makes me really sad, if I'm being completely honest. I do just think that like kids nowadays really have no even filtered, moderated, fun games that they can play with their friends. And that's why everyone's on fucking social media all the time. Like as kids, I think that Disney were just greedy, and as someone who is literally a fan of Club Penguin and still loves it to this day, it makes me so sad that it no longer exists. I'm just looking, I know that there's another one right now that is up and playing, and I've been playing it recently. I don't want to say the name because I don't want to be like getting involved in me playing the illegal version of Club Penguin, but of course I do. Let me know if you played Club Penguin or what other, you know, online world game you played, and if you agree with what I'm saying about Disney ruining it. Let me know. I wanted to make this video for so fucking long. I literally made this in Dallas in fucking February. I will see you all very soon. I hope you're all doing very well, and goodbye.